What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Hall back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to do my weekly picks and predictions video in which I go through every single game, as you see on the board behind me, and give you guys my pick in the game straight up and also against the spread. So welcome. If you are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe because I do talk a lot of NFL on this channel. And you don't want to miss out. And make sure to hit the bell icon to be notified every time I drop a new video, guys. So make sure to do that. And also follow me if you're not already on my social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Best place to reach out to me is there. So, as you see on the board behind me, we've got all the games for week 16. So I'm going to go through every single game and pick against the spread and also straight up overall. So we've got Friday games, Saturday games, Sunday games this week. It's a full weekend full of football. Nothing better. Let's get started. So as always, we do start with transparency, how I did last week and my record overall as we are nearing the end of the season. Just 2 weeks left of regular season football. So last week I did go 12-4 overall. So very happy with that. Just picking straight up in the games. And I went 7-8 against the spread. So not happy with my pick, with my record against the spread. But last week was so weird. We had two monumental upsets. I'm talking about like some of the biggest upsets in NFL history, and where the Jets beat the Los Angeles Rams and we had the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, these were monster 17 and a half, 12 and a half point spread. So I could have easily, if the teams that were supposed to win won and did their job and not choke and collapse like an all-time choke and collapse that happened, I would have been, 14-2, and certainly my picks against my record against the spread would have been much better, but I digress, okay? That is what happened last week. So what does that bring my overall record to on the year? So let's go ahead and capture that. So overall, my record on the year thus far is 142, 64, and 1. And then my record versus the spread is 109, 92, and 1. So 142, 64, and 1. The 1 is a tie right here, and same for versus the spread. So 142 wins, 64 losses, so incorrectly predicted, and then 1 tie. So this is about a 70%, accurate prediction. I'm predicting 70% of games overall correctly, and then against the spread, I'm doing about 54%. So I was trying to get against the spread about 60%, but doesn't look like it'll happen this year. Who knows? Maybe I go on a hot streak to end the year, but let's see. That is my record so far. So let's get into the picks for this week. All right, so here we go. As I mentioned, we've got football in all 3 games this weekend. So we got the Friday game, we've got the Saturday games, the 3-game slate, and then we've got the Sunday games. And then we also have Monday games. So 4 days in a row of football, folks. I am hyped. I can't believe it. Love it. Let's get into it. So Friday night football, it sounds so weird to say. Minnesota Vikings at the New Orleans Saints, folks. It's a 6.5 point spread. The Saints are at home. And you know where I'm going with this one. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints to win this matchup. And folks, quite frankly, it shouldn't be hard to analyze here. The Saints are the better team for sure. And they lost last week in a close game to the Kansas City Chiefs. And you know they're going to be angry and upset. And they are going to try to, take that anger out on the Minnesota Vikings, who are essentially out of the playoff race now, I believe. I mean, technically they're mathematically still in it, but losing that game against the Bears, that really, put them behind the 8 ball. And so now if the, Saints take them out, it's essentially over for Minnesota. So to me, I'm going to go ahead and take the Saints here. I think they come in, they play angry. They take their frustration out. Their offense, defense, both clicks against a Minnesota team that's pretty mediocre across the board. 6.5 point spread. Give me the Saints to cover that. So win and cover for the Saints. Moving on to Saturday night football, or Saturday all-day football. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here at the Detroit Lions. You know where I'm going here overall. I'm going with the Bucs there, the better team. The Lions, it's over for the Lions this season. Where they're just mailing it in at this point. And they're looking forward to next season. But props to Matt Stafford for still playing through his ridiculous amount of injuries, man. That guy is a warrior. So it's all about the spread. It's a pretty massive one, -9. And to be honest, folks, I do see the Lions hanging in this game early on, but I think as the game goes on at the end, the Bucs just pull away. And I could see, this hanging around the spread, and the Bucs get like a fumble and a return for a touchdown or pick six, something like that. I just have a feeling this goes over, so I'm going to take the Bucs to cover that -9. It's a big spread, but look, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just a better overall team. The Lions won't even be able to run the football. They're just going to have to throw all day, and throwing leads to the possibility of interceptions and pick sixes, like I said. So that's why I've got the Bucs here winning and covering. Moving on, this is the first kind of semi-tough game to predict so far. The 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. It's a 4.5-point spread. Division games are always tricky, folks. Remember, I always tell you guys that. Last week, what happened? Yeah, the Bengals beat the Steelers, and that had a lot to do with the fact that it was a division game, okay? So they do tend to be very tricky here, but I can't overlook the fact that the 49ers are just completely banged up offensively. They're down to their third-string quarterback now in C.J. Beathard. Nick Mullins is out. Jimmy Garoppolo's not come back. They may get George Kittle back. We don't know yet, but this offense has been decimated. Their number one receiver, Deebo Samuel's done. You got Brandon Ayuk there. So, again, just not enough weapons for even a offensive genius like Kyle Shanahan to work with here. So, I have to go with the Cardinals here. Even though me being a Bears fan, I need the Cardinals to lose, I have to be objective. They are the better team here with Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and company. They're at home. 4.5-point spread. I'm not a big fan of that. I think the 49ers can cover here because they're a gritty team, but I'll take the Cardinals to win this one straight up. Moving on to the Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a -3-point spread in favor of the Dolphins, who are the better team. Certainly defensively and offensively, they should be getting their weapons back in Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, Jakeem Grant. So, and even Myles Gaskin, the running back. So they should be at full strength for Tua, which is going to help them a lot. And so with the Raiders, I think this is going to be a tough game. It'll be a close one, but I got to go with the Dolphins here because offensively, they should be able to do whatever they want against the Raiders' porous defense, especially against the run. And then defensively, they're a better team, and they should be able to contain the Raiders. So give me the Dolphins here to win. As far as the 3-point spread, it's tough for me. I think the Raiders can cover that, so I'm going to actually take them to cover that one just because they're at home and coming off a tough loss against the Chargers last week. I think they find a way to rebound here, but I'm still taking the Dolphins. All right, let's move on to the Sunday games. All right, I'm going to run through these fairly quickly because some of these don't need much analysis. Like this first one, for instance. Yes, I understand the New York Football Jets won last week against the Rams, but you know what? Lightning usually does not strike twice, and I don't think this happens again. And Jets fans are begging the Jets to lose this week. They better not do it again. They already are out for this week in terms of the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes, right? They're praying that the Jaguars win against the Bears somehow, but I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, folks, they're going up against the Cleveland Browns. It's a -9-point spread. I would hammer the Browns overall here to obviously win, but also cover the spread. They should be able to do whatever they want against this Jets team. Look, last week, lightning in the bottle. What can I say? It happens. So I'm not doing it. I'm not buying into it. Give me the Jets here. Excuse me. See, almost did it. Give me the Browns here to win and cover. Moving on to another pretty large spread here, 10.5-point spread. New York Giants at the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go with the Ravens here. It's not going to be much of a competition here. Now, Colt McCoy should be starting at quarterback. I don't know if Daniel Jones will be back, but there's just not enough offensive firepower here for the Giants here, and they're not going to be able to contain Lamar Jackson on the ground. Their defense is decent, but not enough. And so I'm going to go with the Ravens here, and the Ravens are at home, and it's a massive spread, I understand, but I'm taking the Ravens to cover that. Moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals at the Houston Texans, -7.5-point spread in favor of the Houston Texans. I'm going with the Texans to win here, but it's all about the spread. -7.5. I wish it was 7. I don't like the 0.5. And here's my thing. I know for a fact Deshaun Watson and the offense will be able to do whatever they want against this Bengals team. But the Bengals should be able to do whatever they want against this porous Texans team. But will they with Ryan Finley at quarterback? Now, they did it last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I told you that was a division game. Weird things happen. I'm not sure if that's going to happen again. So you know what? To me, I'm going with the Texans here, but the Texans defense is so bad that I do think the Bengals can hang around and cover that 7.5-point spread. I promise you if this was 7, I'd take the Houston Texans. I hate the half. All right, moving on to the next set of games here. We've got the Bears at the Jaguars here. And again, right, is this a trap game because of the upsets last week, right, with the Rams losing to the Jets and with the Steelers losing to the Bengals? I'm going to say no. I have the Bears winning here. It's a 7.5-point spread. I will take the Bears to cover that. I am very confident that the Bears will win this game because they actually need it. Not to say that these other teams didn't, but the Bears are fighting for their playoff lives. They can't even take the Jaguars lightly even if they wanted to, because they have so much on the line here. And the Jaguars, again, you can say they're actively trying to tank and lose, and they're now in the hot seat or the driver's seat for Trevor Lawrence. But the Bears will win because they need this game. So give me the Bears to win and cover the 7.5-point spread. The offense is broken out. David Montgomery's going nuts. Mitchell Trubisky's playing his best football. Allen Robinson's a stud. And look, there's just the Bears defense is clicking as well. So everything points towards the Bears. I'm going to take them to win this game and cover. Moving on to the Falcons at the Chiefs. Another massive spread. I'm swallowing a lot of points this week, folks. But you know what? That's just how I'm feeling about it. Obviously, I'm taking the Chiefs to cover here. The tricky thing is, do the Chiefs have anything to play for? Because it looks like they're going to have the number 1 seed, but it's not locked up yet. So I'm going to say they still play, like they're trying to win the game, like they're not going to rest their guys. It's just this 11-point spread scares me, right? That scares me. We saw the Falcons put up points against the Bucs defense last week. They should be able to do the same here against the Chiefs, and so that's why I'm saying it's a big number here. I think the Falcons can cover this, maybe even in garbage time. So I'm going to take the Falcons here to cover the 11.5 points, but that's just too many points. And I just said I'm swallowing points this whole time here, but I can't do it. Indianapolis Colts at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Folks, how do you trust the Steelers now after losing 3 straight? I can't do it. I'm going to go with the Colts here, and it's a 1.5-point spread. Yeah, I'll take them to cover that, okay? This Steelers team is broken. Juju Smith-Schuster's dancing on teams' logos, and he's getting yelled at for TikToking too much. Yeah, I can't do it. The Steelers are a mess, all right? The Colts are a solid team, good defense. They should be able to handle it. But again, I'm not very confident about this game. I'd stay away from this game. Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers. I am not a fan of Drew Lock. The Broncos are awful. All right, I'm going to go with the Chargers here. -3. I love that. If it was 3.5, I'd take the Broncos maybe to cover that. But 3 is perfect. Justin Herbert's playing well. Austin Eckler's back. This Chargers offense should be able to do whatever they want against this Broncos team. All right, moving on to the Carolina Panthers at the Washington football team. Tough thing here is to know if Alex Smith is going to play or not, because it's a 1-point spread, so it's basically a pick 'em, and I'm leaning towards Washington, and I would be very confident in Washington if Alex Smith plays, but if he's not there, then you got Dwayne Haskins, and we know what happened with Dwayne Haskins. Obviously, he got disciplined by the team for breaking rules and doing all this other stuff off the field, but I'm not a fan of Dwayne Haskins. I'm just depending on this Washington defense. No CMC again this week. The Panthers, they're probably mailing it in at this point. Give me the Washington football team, and it's a 1-point spread, so yeah, I'll take them to cover that. Rams at Seahawks. Do the Rams get revenge this week? Not even revenge. Do they bounce back this week after that embarrassing loss to the Jets? I'm going to say no. But it's a tough game, division game. I'm probably staying away from this one. Seahawks, I'm just taking them because they're at home, 1-point spread. I think they win this one. The Rams, losing to the Jets. Yeah, I don't know about that one. All right, again, not very confident in that one. Eagles at the Cowboys. We got the resurgence of the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts looking like a baller at quarterback. I know they lost last week to the Cardinals, but Jalen Hurts was phenomenal. So I'm going to take Jalen Hurts here to win this one. They're favored by 2.5. This is going to be a close game. Very, very close, tough game. I'll take the Eagles here. The Cowboys might be without Michael Gallup. We don't know if Zeke Elliott's going to play or not, but I like how this Eagles team is playing, folks. I really do. And Jalen Hurts has really opened this team up, unlocked their offense. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. And the Dallas Cowboys are awful defensively, too. He should be able to do whatever he wants. All right, here we go. Sunday Night Football. Titans at the Packers. -3.5-point spread in favor of the Green Bay Packers. And here's where I'm at, all right? As a Bears fan, I would want the Packers to win so that they rest their starters in Week 17 and they have nothing to play for and they lock the number 1 seed, but I have to be objective here. I love the Tennessee Titans. They have one of, if not the most, well, I'm not going to say the most, that's the Chiefs. They have one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL. They've been putting up points like crazy. Ryan Tannehill's playing crazy. But here's the other thing. Derrick Henry has a chance to hit 2,000 rushing yards. And he was playing the Packers this week. It's going to be a snowy type of game. I think the weather's supposed to be freezing. I see a lot of Derrick Henry on the ground here. The Packers are vulnerable where? Against the run. So a lot of Derrick Henry. You can't stop him. He's going to run all over this team. I smell an upset here. I really do. That's not to say Tennessee's defense isn't good. Is good. Packers should be able to do whatever they want. Aaron Rodgers should be able to do whatever he wants. But I just feel it. All right, I feel the upset here. I felt it when I picked, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles to beat the Saints last week or 2 weeks ago, and I feel it again. I think Derrick Henry goes nuts here. I'm looking at maybe 150 rushing yards, something like that. So give me the Titans here. All right, I might be crazy, but give me the Titans here to beat the Green Bay Packers. All right, and finally, Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Yeah, give me the Bills here to win this game and cover. The Patriots are awful. They just are. There's nothing else to be said. All right, so there you have it, folks. My picks and predictions for Week 16 of the NFL season. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, as always. Thanks for watching.